Johnny here for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. Going to talk about the Ford Maverick. I want you to hear what this Ford Maverick EcoBoost sounds like, because right now the Ford Maverick EcoBoost is the solution to actually getting built. So we're going to listen to it, see how you like the sound of it. I can attest this thing drives fantastically. I've got a test drive review of it, and the 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque are more than enough to make you smile. So it's actually a great engine when it comes to performance. And on the highway, the fuel economy is actually similar to the hybrid. Now in town, that's where there's going to be a big difference. This almost takes almost twice as much fuel in town than the hybrid. So that's a good reason to wait for the hybrid, but it is all-wheel drive. So you've got the EcoBoost here, that's all-wheel drive. And yes, in the showroom, we do have some awfully nice Mustangs. So we've got the Mustang Mach-1 right there. That's one of my favorites. But staying on topic and talking about the Ford Maverick right here. Ford Maverick, if you ordered your hybrid after November 15th, 2021, you might think that you're a carryover. You're not a carryover. What you actually are is, unfortunately, you're a new order. So when order banks open, if you're in the US, order banks opened September 16th, 2022. So if you're on day one, because you're what would be considered a pre-order, anything after November 15th is a pre-order. So if you're sitting around thinking that you're a carryover, you're not. Carryovers are going to be prioritized. Those are the ones that Ford is going to pick up. So if you did order before November 15th, your hybrid 2021, rest assured, you don't need to make the switch. You're going to get a Maverick Hybrid this year. And if you're a day one, so if you're not a carryover, but let's say anytime after November 15th, 2021, you dropped your order for your Maverick in, well, you're part of the group that needs to consider whether you should switch to an EcoBoost. And please drop the comment whether you think it's reasonable to switch to an EcoBoost. I think they're fantastic. They're a lot of fun to drive. Tons of power. Really, if you think about it, this thing weighs about 3,600 pounds and has 277 pound-feet of torque. So if this was a 7,000 pound pickup, let's say like the Ford F-150 Lightning, the torque that's in it, because of its half the weight of a Lightning, it's worth twice as much. So the 277 pound-feet of torque versus the weight make this a blast to drive. So comment if you think it's reasonable to switch. Would you even consider it? But here's who does need to consider switching. If you did not get your order at a dealer September 16th, you need to consider switching. If, however, if you are day one, September 16th, you're going to get built this year. You don't have to worry. You're in business. You really don't need to worry. Where I start to worry is somewhere for certain dealers, day two. So if you're a day two, certain dealers won't get all their day twos built, most likely. And day threes, I'd say a lot of dealers probably won't get their day three hybrids built. A good number of them. And day four, if you're a day four order, so September 20th, I'd say there's little chance you're going to get built. And if you're after that, well, you're going to be a carryover unless you're an EcoBoost. I'd say someone who orders an EcoBoost right now, even though the order banks are closed, Ford is going to have a surplus of Mavericks that they need to make. They're not, once they've made all the EcoBoosts, they can only make so many hybrids each month. They only get so many batteries. The leftovers are going to be EcoBoosts. And I'd say come probably April or May, they'll have built all the EcoBoosts for all the people who've ordered them. So what are they going to do? They're going to build dealer inventory, and of course, if a client's order is in the system, why wouldn't Ford build it? So if you haven't ordered your Maverick yet and you want to get a 2023, I'd say have a very good chance of getting a 2023. Drop your order in, have the dealer put it off to Ford, but do remember your order does need to be confirmed or enrolled. So they need to have asked you for your driver's license. If they haven't done the enrollment process correctly. They need to have you sign sheets that show the price and the interest rate. They need to have you sign your build sheet. So that's a bare minimum. They should also be having you sign a sheet that says that your trade can fluctuate because of the current market, which we've got videos talking about how the current market is going. So stay tuned for that. But for now, if you are a day one hybrid order, you don't need to consider switching. But if you're a day two, you want to get your Maverick sooner or get guaranteed a 2023, switch to the EcoBoost. It's a fantastic, fun engine. So you can watch our review, our test drive review of that. We drove it with my friend. We took out his Maverick. He was gracious enough to let us drive it. Now this one is for sale because it's a courtesy. So the Mavericks that are out there right now, there aren't very many. There are canceled orders and people don't seem to be canceling their hybrids. Some EcoBoost cancellations for various reasons. People don't pass financing. By the time it comes in, they had to switch because their old vehicle broke down, wasn't worth fixing up. Let's say you're a day three hybrid order. If you're a day three, all carryovers, don't worry, you're gonna get built. But if you're a day three, you might not, some of you will not get built as a 23. If you're a day four, maybe some dealers will have their day four, so September 20th, builds, 2022 builds actually get delivered as hybrids. If you're an EcoBoost, again, don't worry at all. But if you're a hybrid, do consider this truck. It is fantastic. And if you haven't ordered a Ford Maverick yet, do consider it because the truck's a lot of fun. It's it's great on fuel economy. In regards to the all-wheel drive, you're gonna have a blast. Going everywhere. You can see outside we've been hit by a snowstorm. That's a lot of slushy ice now, so I'm gonna be driving home in that, and I'm happy to have the F-150 Raptor with its intelligent four-wheel drive to bring me home. So please do like and subscribe. Do comment. What do you think of this whole situation? Are you going to consider switching? Do you like the EcoBoost setup? I can tell you it's now Gen 2, very reliable. I think it's a fantastic powertrain, but I've got other videos for that, so I'm going to sign off for now. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and do hit the bell notification, because otherwise you won't know when we're talking about important, need-to-know Ford and automobile industry info. And of course, we also do build-in prices and important buyer's advice to help save you thousands to make sure you don't get robbed. We've got a special video on that, on what to do so that you don't get robbed. You'll want to watch that if you're looking at buying a vehicle up and coming. And I do have to say, it is awfully nice to be in a location that, they're keeping it class here, having this wonderful 1967 Mustang right in the showroom. So the original owner bought that from this dealership and actually sold it back to the dealership. He wanted to give it its final home back to where it was, started off. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. I wish you all more cars and more power. Hope your Maverick gets in real soon.